So I used the first herbal compress to demonstrate some of the techniques on how to use it on the body. Now the second herbal compress is going to be hot, so I'm going to exchange them. Okay. So safety first. Always the lid away from you. And the same thing if you were working on the stove with a pot, you're going to do the same thing. You're always going to remove the lid away from you for a few seconds. I'm going to put that one in. I'll take my second compress out. One of the things that I love about the herbal compress massage, and I always say, is that it's as beneficial to the giver as it is to the receiver. So when you have that herbal compress and you're bringing it out, feel free to take a moment and pause and inhale the benefit of the herb. So I'm going to take the herbal compress and have it down here. I think Sophia's first herbal compress massage, she was probably like 6 months old, if not younger. So she's pretty used to it. So this is a nice hot herbal compress. I'm going to put it around the towel again. And again, this is the areas that I want to introduce the heat first. Once I have introduced the heat, then I can move to the lower part of the body. Also, if I'm working on the legs, I'm going to work on the outer part, bigger muscles before going to the medial or to the medial part. How's the temperature for you? Say this one. How is this good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's how I prefer to do it. So anyway, you can use a towel if you need it. So at some point, when you're working with the herbal compress, it's not only about rolling the herbal compress on the muscle, you also can use your other hand. And I call this, let me see if I can say this correctly, mirroring. It's like a mirror when you hold a mirror. So this hand is going to work on the same areas or recreate it, or how can you say it, imitate the movements of the herbal compress, so that you are doing some touch at the same time that you're depositing heat. Okay. My hands are also benefiting from the herbal compress as I'm working on her. Then I'm going to use my fingers and I'm going to do some pressures around this area. So when doing the pressure points, stay quiet, I go into the zone. When I'm doing the pressure points, I'm not just digging my finger onto her muscle. I'm pressing the finger and I'm going in soft circles. And I find the place where the body naturally stops me from moving forward without force. So I'm gonna go in with some circles, and that's where I feel sort of the resistance from her body. There, I'm going to then press lightly, a little bit lightly, but a little bit deeper, if you can understand that. Take a couple of breaths and release. So that helps to open the point. Some call it trigger points, some call it energy points, some call it acupressure, meridians, nadis. You can call it anything you want. The most important thing is that you're helping to open those channels. If I was doing traditional Thai massage, I would be doing pressure points throughout the full body, and I will be doing this too. But even if you're not doing traditional Thai massage and you're just working with herbal compress, you can still incorporate some of the pressure points. So now my compress has cooled off. I will come back here quickly. I will take my other compress. This one's, the more time passes, the hotter and hotter they keep getting. So you have to be mindful that maybe at the beginning of the massage, the first few exchanges, the compress cooled off fairly fast, but as the treatment progresses, they will stay hotter longer. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now I'm definitely gonna wrap it in my towel. So when I do my towel, I call this the flower because I want to take the 4 points and hold them in my hand for me to roll the towel, the compress on the body. So this is fairly nice and hot, nice and warm. But please hold the towel always. You don't want anything dragging and tickling the person. Doesn't feel good. So that's part of like your job right there, is to have a hold of that. I also want to point out there is a lot of finger movement here as opposed to wrist motion. I want you to observe my hands and know that I'm not doing this motion. This will hurt you. It's not going to feel too good. So be really mindful when you're working with this tool, is that you are not bending your wrist and not doing that motion. So I'm teaching you different techniques here so the video doesn't become so long. So whatever I did on this arm, you can always follow on this, repeat on the other arm, okay? Oh, I did this way, sorry. So I'm going to, now that the compress is not so hot, I'm going to roll down alongside the spine. And now this area is going to receive heat for the first time. So I want to be mindful of that. So if you see, I'm rolling back and forwards as if I was painting a little bit. But I don't tend to lift up the herbal compress. First, because it kind of helps the person feel what's coming next. There's like a sense of continuation, as opposed to me working here and then lifting the compress and coming here and then coming here, or doing this kind of thing, which I've seen done. To me, that's not that soothing. I prefer, and I encourage you to pretty much just follow the compress as if you were applying paint on a wall, or if water was spilling. It's always touching each other, right? It's continuing. So for the shoulders and arm massage, there's 3 basic poses that I like to always include, and you can add many more if you like, or you don't have to do them all if you can't do it on the person. I chose a 12-year-old because she's healthy and she can move in every direction. So. Well, she's in quarantine, so anyway. So you have the arm over here, and this one opens the shoulder, opens the trap, so I can work in this full area. The second move is the arm hanging to the side, and that is going to open more the supraspinatus, deltoid connectors here. So on this one, I like to roll back and forwards and really go over that area. Go onto the rhomboids. Now from here, I like to hold the hand. Have her rest the hand on the face cradle, and it exposes this outer part here. So then I'm going to roll the herbal compress. I want you to take a moment and just take my full body for a second and see how I'm shifting the weight in my body from leg to leg. Okay, so sort of like in a Tai Chi or in a warrior position when you're doing yoga. And this is what I'm doing when I'm doing the movement. And shifting forward to press and back to release. And what it does is that it helps me work from my core, from my center, and that's better body mechanics. So at the end of the day, I'm not as tired or uncomfortable doing this, as opposed to standing here and doing this. Those body mechanics are not going to take you too far. So the best thing is to separate your legs a little bit and shift your weight. So if I was going to work along the rib cage here, I would just take small steps forward and lean back. So the constant time you see me, I'm sort of leaning back and forwards. So I'm going to go back into the steamer and I'm going to take my other compress out. That's why I like working with two herbal compresses, because one is hot, one is cold.